Welcome to the den, where wisdom meets swagger. This is Sophisticated Grizzly. Walk with purpose, stand up tall, built like mountains, never small. Suit is clean, the mind is sharp, leave a legacy, make your mark. Grace and grit in every stride, strength and class, all unified. Every story, every page, growing wiser with age. I'm a sophisticated grizzly, bold and free, strong enough to be exactly me. Deep conversations, truth we chase, power with humility, style with grace. Welcome to the table, pull up a seat, with confidence and character meet. From the heart, authentic and true, sophisticated grizzly, talking live with you. No need to roar when your presence speaks. Real strength is found in the wisdom we seek, building kings, lifting souls. One conversation makes us whole. So settle in, take a breath, the conversation starts now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to the Sophisticated Grizzly. So, I was already on, and I'm not gonna hide from this. I was on, but guys, it has been so long since our podcast. I did not know I didn't know that we weren't live. So yeah, that's how long it's been since we've been on Sophisticated Grizzly. So guys, welcome back to the Sophisticated Grizzly, where we have real conversations with real people and we talk about real live events, because just because you're not a celebrity or a politician does not mean you do not have an interesting life. And the first subject of our interview series is my brother, my guy, Bass, better known as Gregory Jenkins out here in these streets. But we know him on here in the podcast as Bass. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, brother, how you?
I know we're doing a remix version of this, man, but please bear with me because it's been a while. It's been a while, but we're going to get this thing rolling. So you know what? We already spoke about the childhood. I don't know if you want to go back into that or if you want to just get back to question 2, because you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it because the folks need to know. They need to know what young Bass was like, what it was like to be young Bass. Were you like young Shelton, or were you a little bit different than that?
I was a black Dennis the Menace.
You were a black. Oh boy. So what the hell happened to Mr. Wilson? What you do to him?
Well, it really wasn't no Mr. Wilson. It was a Jewish guy that I used to sell at his store when I was young. So wow. I guess he could be the Mr. Wilson.
Okay. But Mr. Schmidt.
Yeah, you know, I had a crazy childhood with my mother. To be real, my mother didn't like my father, so she took it out on me.
Okay.
So much like him. So I guess I would do things to get her attention. Taking stuff apart. Like for instance, she would get a check once a month, who was raised on social services, and she would buy canned goods. Well, one particular month she bought canned goods. I took all the labels of all the canned goods.
Damn.
So she said, just because you did that dumb shit, I'm gonna open up 2 or 3 canned goods a night, and whatever I open up, you're gonna eat. And I'm gonna fix your ass. She said some other words, but I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, she would open up like peaches and black eyed peas.
Damn, that's a hell of a combination.
And she would mix it.
Oh.
And she would stand on top of me with a stick and say, "You're gonna eat it or wear it."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So kind of broke down labels off canned goods.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure we don't do that anymore. Boy, you were definitely Dennis. So what about Dennis? Did you carry Dennis all the way into your teenage years, or did you develop a different type of thought process or personality?
No, I think I took Dennis up till I was like in my teens, my early teens. Because I remember me and the guys across the street, we played this game called Battleship, where we would make homemade slingshots, and we would break the windows out of our homes. So my mother was out with her girlfriends one night, and she came home and realized all the windows was broken in the bedrooms and in the kitchen.
In your house?
My house and the house across the street.
Damn. Okay.
I would break one of their windows. They break one of our windows. All you heard was clang-a-lang-a-lang, clang-a-lang-a-lang.
So this is what was considered entertainment back in the day.
I was entertained until she got home and beat the black off me.
Jesus. Well, you know what, guy? Let me pull you out of childhood, because damn, this this is going.
Look, I'm gonna grab a beer real quick. Hold on a minute.
Okay. So guys, you heard my man's slingshots and broken windows. These are the things that used to be considered fun. We had I had slingshots when I was a kid. I think I broke one window, and I think my mother my mother beat me into an English language. That's how bad she whipped my ass. I think I was speaking the Queen's English by the time I got finished. But you know what, brother? Let's get into the next question. So if anybody doesn't know, my brother used to be a police officer. He's a retired police officer. Thank you for the service, your service to the city, my brother. And I want to know, what was the very thing that made you wake up one day and say, you know what, I think I want to be an officer?
Well, I remember being a young guy. I was like 13, 14, and I was sitting out on the front with my mother. And if you know anything about the projects, that broke down into what we call courts. So there was a certain time of the month, the city would come out and they would spray for roaches. So they would spray this heavy mist that we were told to close the windows, but this mist would come through the cracks of the windows, and you would think there was a fire, but it was a white mist. So they would hit like Project A, and the roaches would go B, C, D, E, F. So they would spray the first apartment. The roaches they weren't dumb. They go to the next apartment. So we're sitting out there, about I said a good 200-300 people sitting out there in the court, and there was two old black guys standing at the dumpster fighting. So somebody called the police. So I'm sitting there, little black, skinny, big head dude sitting there with my mom. All of a sudden, here come all these police. It was about, I'm gonna say it was a good 12 police. They were all white, and they looked like giants carrying these big sticks. They broke the fight up, and then they looked back at us, and they said, and I'll never forget it, as long as I live, they said, I want all you niggas to go in the house, and whoever don't go in the house will get locked the fuck up. So we beat feet. Everybody from young to old, everybody beat feet to run in the house. So when I got in the house, I asked my mother, I said, Mom, what do we do for the police to make us go in the house? And my mother was afraid of white people. She said, especially police, she said, look, if the police say do it, you don't think about it, you just do it. And I thought, if I was an inquisitive little kid, I was like, that deep down inside, that shit ain't right. Well, why are we being judged because of where we live? So I decided that kind of prompted me to become police.
Right.
Because like I said, all them police I saw there was white. And I see a lot of terrible shit that police did to black people growing up in the projects. So that's what inspired me to be police.
Okay. See, and I think a lot of, and if I could probably have conversations with other black police officers, I think that would probably inspired a lot of them to do the same thing because of some of the things they've seen in their neighborhood. But another question I wanted to ask you, we're gonna stay right here within this realm right here. What was the best thing about being an officer for you? What was the best thing, or even some of a best moment for you?
I think the initial best moment when I graduated from the police academy, and my mother, was finally proud of me. I remember walking across that stage to get my diploma, my certificate to become a police officer. And my mother was so proud. She never, I ain't talking bad about her, but when it come to school, my mother she didn't push me to go to school. She wanted me to get out of the house to get out of her face. I remember I was such a bad kid that she would send me to school on Saturday. And I said, Mom, school closed on the weekend. She said, well, you stay out there until Monday when they open up. So my mother she was never proud of me, man. And I would do dumb shit to get her attention. So when I walk across that stage, man, and I'm like, damn, I'm this little black kid from the projects, and I became police. And I watched my mother, man. She was so proud. She was so proud. So that was my most inspiring moment of being police.
Okay. All right. And that's actually a great inspiration as well, because the one thing most of us, if not, I'd say at least 97 to 98% of us want our parents to be proud of the accomplishments that we have in life. Yeah. But I'm getting ready to take a little bit of a turn. What was the worst thing about being a police officer for you?
Well, I got shot, which probably would have been my first day on the street. I came home. I was married back then, and I came home to get ready for my first night in patrol. I was all excited, man, gung ho. I came home to my my townhome in the Northeast District, and I opened the front door to go in to get ready for my first night of patrol, and I realized somebody had broken into my townhome, and I had a Chihuahua. His name was Speedy, and we kept him in the kitchen, so he wouldn't poop in the living room where the carpet was.
Okay.
So when I walked up the walkway, Speedy was, if you don't think about Chihuahuas, they're very territorial. So he was barking, and I said, what the hell's wrong with him? So instead of me, I turned the key to go into the townhouse. Instead of me walking in, I turned the key and pushed the door open. I didn't know that somebody was pulling the door open. And before I knew it, somebody standing there with a sawed-off shotgun. And I think I turned to get away from him. And about 3 feet, we were 3 feet apart. I heard the shotgun go off, and I felt the pressure in the back of my head, and I didn't even think I was shot. Shit was happening this way. I was able to get down the 3 steps in front of the townhouse, so that made me like 5 feet from him, and I heard the shotgun go off again. And I was shot a second time, but it didn't initially hurt. It was like so much going on. My adrenaline was going. So I ran down Truesdale. I didn't realize that the guy was chasing me, firing the last 2 shots in his shotgun. There was a little white kid that was looking out the window of the school. He saw me running down Truesdale, and he ran down to the front door of the school. It was Thurgood Marshall. And he opened the door and let me into the school. And he took me to the principal's office. He sit me down in the corner in the principal's office. I didn't even think I was shot. Shit happened so quick. I didn't feel the shots until I got in the principal's office, and they sit me on the floor, and I felt like my head was fired, and that's when I realized I was shot. And I'm one of those people that I sweat all year round. I had on a camouflage field jacket. Never forget it. It was February the 3rd, 1993, over 30-some years ago. But I had on a camouflage field jacket and blue police sweats. I had my duty weapon on, but I didn't have a chance to get to it.
Right.
That probably would have killed me, because when they finally took me to shock trauma, Dr. Scalia told me that the bone in the front of your head is thinner than the bone in the back of your head. So if he had shot me in the face, I would probably been blinded, and he probably would have killed me because, like I said, the bone in the front of your head is thinner.
Right.
But luckily, he was a coward. He waited till I turned around and shot me in the back of the head. And my mother always said I had a hard head, so I guess that hard head saved my life.
But when you now this is a bonus question to that question. When after this happened, did a lot of your colleagues show up to show support to you or anything like that?
Well, since I was brand new, a lot of people didn't even know me, but that department treated me like shit. I came down to the department to get my weapon. See, normally when something like this happens, they take your duty weapon and test it to make sure you didn't fire it. So I had to go down there and get this release done to get my weapon back. So they took me up to I went to evidence control to get my weapon. They said you got to go through homicide because they're the ones that's investigating your shooting. I'm like, okay, I don't know shit. I'm with my ex-wife. My head's wrapped up. It's about 2 weeks after the shooting. Talk about blessed. I go up to homicide to get my weapon. And once they realized I was the guy that got shot in the city, they took me into a 4x4 room with a small table, a swinging light, and it was 2 detectives and a lieutenant. And they questioned me for about 45 minutes. They accused me of being a drug dealer, of cheating on somebody's wife, of gambling, and they told me that if I'm lying about anything, not only are they gonna, am I gonna get fired, but they're gonna put me in jail. And I'm thinking, I'm just joining the fucking police department, and this is how they treat me. So they kept me in there for about, I'm gonna say 45 minutes to an hour, grilling me, wanted to know what did I do to cause myself to get shot. So that was my initial introduction into the police department.
Damn, brother.
My ex-wife is on the block. She's wondering, he just come down to sign paper and get his gun. What is taking so long? So once I came out that room, she says, "What the hell? Why were you back here so long?" So we went outside. And I told her that I was being interrogated. I was not a victim. I was a suspect. And see, I joined the department when I was 33, so that wasn't my first job. So I wasn't that naive 21-year-old just starting a job like that in the police department. I've been around a little bit.
Right.
And,
that's insane, brother.
Yeah. If you want real, I'm giving you real, bro.
Oh, damn. To treat you like that after you were the one that got shot.
Yep.
You were the one attacked.
And let me throw something on that. The police commissioner, me and him, I got a citation of valor. It was the highest living award for being shot. So me and the commissioner on the stage, we're taking a picture, and he whispered. And of course, another thing too, they accused me of owning the shotgun that was used on me. I've never owned a shotgun. So the commissioner was like, he whispered in my ear while they taking the picture. He said, "Officer, was the shotgun yours?" And I whispered into his ear, "No, sir, it was not." So 2 weeks after I went out on the street, I went downtown to submit some drugs or something. I saw the same lieutenant that had threatened me. He says, "Hey, Officer Jenkins, how you doing, buddy?" And I'm thinking, this is the same motherfucker that threatened to put me in jail. I said, "How you doing, Lieutenant?" He said, "I'm doing good, man. I just want you to know we checked out your story. Everything added up just the way you said." And I looked at him like, no shit. No shit.
You know, that's insane to me, man. Like to suggest that you are the reason that you were attacked. Now, don't get me wrong. There are certain situations where maybe certain police officers put themselves in that kind of situation or danger or whatever. But bro, you just got there. You was there for 5 minutes. You hadn't even had your first street assignment.
Well, you know what the mistake I made, man, that led up to my shooting? A guy moved in next door to me, and I told my ex-wife then, I said, something ain't right about homeboy. I just had a feeling. I'm in the academy, right?
Right.
So he was like, "Well, honey, he ain't bothering you. Mind your own business." And then one day I go to empty the trash, and I see the drug unit raiding this guy's townhome. So here I am, all green. I'm going back and forth to the academy. I got my police shirt on, and I'm thinking the guys next door probably thinking, this guy must be a snitch. I found out after the fact this guy was a drug dealer. So here I am walking down the street, proud with a fucking white shirt on, with a Baltimore City police patch on. So they probably thinking this motherfucker snitching. I never saw nothing, but just a thought that they were thinking, oh yeah, he got to be a fucking state here, fucking police.
Right. Now, which commissioner was this, brother? That you were?
This was Commissioner Woods.
Okay, Commissioner Woods. Okay.
And Mayor Schmoke. Schmoke was the mayor, and they both came to see me in the hospital.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. So the mayor was like, I remember him coming to shock trauma to see me. He said, "Young officer," he said, "what can I do to make your life easier?" And man, being green, I said, "Sir, I want to get out on the streets and fight crime in the city of Baltimore." So I remember him patting me on the shoulder. He said, young officer, you're gonna have all the time in the world to get out there and fight crime. Right now, what we need to do, we need you to mend.
Right.
And let me
Right.
tell you how blessed I am, and I was. I got shot with what's it's called number 6 bird shot. Nothing penetrated my skull. I got over 200 pieces of metal in my head now, but it didn't go through my skull. It's between the skin of my head and my skull. Nothing penetrated my skull.
Wow, brother. You
So
want to talk about blood?
I am a walking blessed miracle.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Now we're gonna get to so I do want to know, my brother, what was in your very own words, the happiest moment of your life?
The happiest moment of my life went to my ex-wife was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant with my daughter when I was shot. To stand there and watch my wife give birth to my daughter. And I remember this old white doctor, I'll never forget it. He used forceps to pull my baby out of my wife. And I've never seen, I got 5 kids. I've never seen a baby being born. So he had these things like, it looked like ice cream scoops. He was going to pull my baby's head out of my wife. So I being the police, being inquisitive, I said, Doc, you're not going to pull my baby's head off, are you? He was an old white George doctor. He looked back at me. He says, you police, right? I said, yeah, I'm police. He said, do I tell you how to police? I said, no, you don't tell me how to police. He said, don't you tell me how to doctor. So, Grizz, look, my initial plan was I had the forceps. I mean, we call things you cut the cord.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had these clips. My sister-in-law was standing next to me. So I'm waiting for the doctor to pull my baby out of my wife. I saw him grab my baby's head. Bruh, you know us guys, man. We get a paper cut. We think we dying.
Right.
I seen this doctor pull my baby out of my wife. And I'm ready to cut the cord. Grizz, I froze. My godmother / sister-in-law told me to get out the way. She grabbed the clips out of my hand. She said, look, this girl gonna be in college by the time you cut this damn cord. So I got out the way, and my baby came out, and my sister-in-law cut the cord. And that was the thing that got me about this was I almost didn't live to see her being born.
Oh wow, brother.
Yeah.
Just to think about that the fact that before your baby got here, that could have been your last day, but God said no.
Yep. I wouldn't have seen her. She wouldn't have seen her father. Yep.
Man. Yep. So we get ready to go to the 6th question because I know the panel is chomping at the bit. They're ready to ask you some questions. So we got 2 more questions to go, brother, and then we're gonna let everybody on up here. So
how am I doing so far?
Brother, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. This is why I try to tell people you ain't got to be a celebrity or a politician or a president to be entertaining, to actually have an interesting life, because I guarantee you there are a lot of people that don't have this kind of life, that have not lived through some of the things that you've lived through. So I do want to ask at this point, what was the worst moment of your life?
My brother was out there in the streets. He was getting high. I don't know what he was doing. And I think, I got to thank him and my youngest brother, because they were both out there in the drug world. I remember my brother next to me, he always called me a goody because I never did. Me and him smoked weed back in the day, but I never knew the shit he was into. Like back in the day, they called it window pane. I remember him out there getting high with his boys, and I remember them bringing him home. They would put him up against the door, and they would knock on the door and run. And I would go downstairs, and I would grab him and take him up 2 flights of steps. And my mother, we would call Ambo to take him to the hospital. And they would take him up to, it was a hospital on Fayette and Carolina Street. I think it was, it wasn't. It was up from the projects. Not Maryland General, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
they take him up to the hospital and they would hit him with Narcan. I didn't know what that was until I got older. And then he would get up and he would get pissed off because they fucked his high up, and he would walk out the hospital. And I remember him taking him up to the third floor, and me and my mother would tie him down on the bed because he was seeing spiders and all kinds of animals crawling across the ceiling.
Damn.
So acid was the big thing back in the 70s. But I remember when I joined the department, my brother was really disappointed because I became the very thing that he hated, which was the police.
Wow.
And I remember working Hopkins part time. I was an off duty police officer in uniform. And I remember coming in there one day to see him and my mom. And he was on the corner with some of his boys. He would always hang on the corner of Carolina and Pratt.
Okay.
And he was there with 3 or 4 of his boys. I get out the car to go to my mother's, and I hear these guys yelling time out, and they would run. And my brother would get mad at me. He says, "See what you did? You chased my boys away." And I said, "I'm not here to mess with them. I come here to see your mom." He said, why would you be fucking police? And I can't stand fucking police. Why would you do that? I said, well, I'm not doing it to piss you off. I'm doing it because it was something that I believe in doing. So that was the one thing that came in between me and him. We were tight up until the time when I became police. When I graduated from the academy, he didn't go. I wanted him to be there, but he hated police so bad. I understand in the 70s, police they really fucked with us living in the projects. I remember when I was 18, me and my brother went to the store, and we walking up to our home when 2 white police officers stopped us and said, "Where you boys going?" And me being Mr. Rebel, I looked at that officer in the face. I said, "I'm not a boy. I'm a grown man." He said, "You are going to be what I say you is." I don't know your name, but I know your brother. He's always out here. "Boy, what is your name?" I said, "Officer, again, I'm telling you, my name, I have a name, and it's not Boy." I was very defiant in those early years, man. And I didn't like police. And I cannot believe I joined the one thing that I did not like, because I didn't like the way they treated us. I remember this police officer chased this guy in the court one day. It was a big metal fence that's in the middle of our court.
Right.
And he chased this black guy. I don't know what he chased him for, but the guy kept running, and the officer got tired of chasing him, so he fired a shot and shot him in the back and killed him.
Damn.
And I watched it, man, and I'm thinking, damn, this is what the fucking police do? This is what the fucking police do?
That's insane, brother.
And you know what, man, Grizz, I can't believe that I joined the police department. Watching a white police officer shoot this guy in the back and got away with it. And I was like, God damn.
But you know what, brother?
Yeah, man.
We've seen a lot of that most of our life. No, it's okay, brother. Like, believe this is why we're here. We're here to have these candid conversations. So you led you led an interesting life. You had beautiful moments. You've had tragic moments. So, brother, this is the last question before I bring folks up. To this point, what do you think defines your sophisticated journey? What has brought you into the space of sophistication that I know you to be, that many of us on the panel know you to be, because we do know that you are in the realm of sophistication. So what do you feel like brought you to this point where you live your life, people that know you love you, you have a great circle around you, and you didn't allow the tragedies in your life to define you? What do you feel like brought you to where you are now in your life?
I think after my shooting, I think God. I think God. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here now. So I'm gonna say I thank God. Once the dust settled after my shooting, God is what brought me through the shooting. But if it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't be here. I would be a memory. So I'm gonna say, God was He is, and He was my savior then. Yeah, because I remember being in the academy 2 weeks before the shooting, an officer came into our academy, and he was talking us about officer survival. So he first thing came out of his mouth when he walked into the classroom. He said somebody in this classroom going to get shot. So me being one of the older guys in the classroom, I'm looking around going, well, I'm looking at my classmates. I'm going, I don't like him, but I hope it ain't him. I don't care for her, but I hope it ain't her. Never thought in a million years that 2 weeks later, that
It's gonna be you.
shooting victim would have been me.
Wow. That's crazy, brother. That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy? On top of that, after the shooting, I remember going to church one day and I gave my testimony. What I just shared with you. I remember the priest telling me that God kept me around for a reason. And I don't think I'm nobody special, but I got shot in 93. In 2000, I became a detective and I investigated non-fatal shootings for a decade. So when these drug dealers would get shot, and most of my victims were drug dealers, when these drug dealers would get shot, I had to go out there and investigate. So I remember having this trench coat, and I was proud of this trench coat. I called myself a black Columbo. I would wash it. I would not iron it. It was wrinkled. I'm out there on crime scenes with my wrinkled trench coat, thinking I'm a black Columbo. Looking at blood spatter, looking at shell casings, trying to find the guy that shot my victim. And I did that for a decade. So I think that was part of the reason why God kept me around, because I became a shooting investigator. And because of what I went through, it just pushed me to push even more to try to find the guy that shot my victim, even though a lot of my victims didn't give a shit. And then when I go to pull a lot of my victims' records, their records was twice as long as the person that shot them.
Well, that's the job, though, right? That's the job, right?
How you say it? That's the fucking job. Yeah,
that's the fucking job right there, brother. But you know what, bro? Since you black, man, we can't call you Columbo, but Columbro is more like, you know, how
or how about Columbro Bay?
Yeah, or like Miss J said, Shaft. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. First one that we're going to bring up is the mass creator himself, the man who runs the Grown Man Click podcast, and he has come out of hiatus to come up to the Sophisticated Grizzly, the mass creator, brother JB. What's up, brother?
And how y'all doing tonight? Base, I've missed you. I've missed all of you guys.
I miss you too, Dave.
It's been a couple weeks since I've been on the screen, you know, but I'm back temporarily because there was no way I was missing the relaunch of the Grizz. No way it was going to happen. I'm in my bat cave today, and probably for the next couple of weeks, this is where you're going to see me if you see me. But I am definitely in awe of your service to this community base. It takes a lot. You know, I got police in my family. You know, we got 6 degrees of separation because your daughter was worked underneath of me.
That's right. Dominic worked with JB. Yeah. That's right.
So
that's right.
I knew her before I knew you. So it was destined that we were. I got pictures of Nick in my in my booklets here from when we worked together.
You know, I gotta see
Pennsylvania, everywhere. Yeah.
You know, I gotta see. I gotta see.
But I do have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Before you go, I want to bring everybody.
You bringing everybody up? Oh, I thought you was bringing us up one by one. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're gonna bring them all up, but we're gonna start with you and your questions, and then we're gonna go with Jay, and then we're going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not only blessed to have one beautiful lady, but we got 2 of them coming up here on the screen. So the first one I want to bring up, guys, is my sister, my heart, Miss J. Nicole. What's going on, Miss J? How you feeling? Uh-oh, she probably
Whoops,
back.
I was on mute.
There she
Hey,
go. What's
Hey,
going
Jay.
on?
What's up, Jay? What's up?
where have you been, base? That's my question.
I've been black in the bag.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have another lady who I have now deemed as another one of my sisters. Love her to death. Beautiful inside and out. Miss Anna, everybody. Miss Anna, what's going on? Uh-oh. So Miss Anna, you may have to sit. You may have to sit next to base.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna have to be on the real hot seat. Yeah, you're gonna have to be on the real hot seat.
So just cut your phone off and sit next to base.
She said, phone off. Okay.
Yeah.
And sit next to base.
Yep.
Oh, she said sit next to me.
Yeah. So that way he's on a real hot seat. Wait a minute, everybody. We are not finished. We are not finished because guess what? Not only do we have two beautiful ladies in the house, but we got my niece, my brand new niece, my one more beautiful lady coming in the house. Miss Brittany, what's going on, Miss Brittany? How you doing?
What's going on, everybody?
What's
Hey.
going on? How you feeling?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to put y'all on speaker. It sounds like it's still on the phone piece, so I can barely hear y'all. I'm trying to. I'm trying to fix these settings.
A lot of times, it's if you have your face muted, it won't let you go to speaker.
Oh, well, I'm in the process of moving and looking crazy, so I guess y'all gonna be looking at my picture.
Well, then, you know what? We cool with the picture. So we're gonna start off. Miss Brittany, I don't know if you had the opportunity to hear the conversation with Brother Bass, and if you have some questions for him for some of the things that we discussed tonight, feel free to ask him the questions. We're gonna go in the order that I brought everybody on screen. So the first person that we're gonna bring up is my brother JB. JB, what questions do you have for Brother Bass?
All right, Base. What type of change do you feel you made during your service as a police officer?
Dang, what change? You know what?
Because
I remember
going from the story you told how you were affected by negative policing. What were some of the things that you brought into your tenure as a police officer that you feel could have changed the narrative for some people about police officers and about how you police?
I think being a black police officer, I think my shooting helped me to have compassion for some of the guys on the corner selling drugs, and I realized that a lot of the guys that's on the corner selling drugs don't do it just to be doing it. A lot of them are doing it just to survive. And I remember my series, The Wire. I remember this one guy in season 4. I remember him out there selling drugs to feed his little brother. So I realized, going into the department at an older age, 33, I remember that a lot of the young black guys on the corner selling drugs ain't out there doing it just for the glory. A lot of them are doing it just to eat. So I kind of had a compassion for the guys on the corners, and even the guy that shot me, tried to take my life. I found myself praying for him. I don't know. I think what I went through, it just
gave you compassion.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah.
Okay. Am I still going, or do we go around? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yes, you are, my brother. You got we're gonna give you at least 2 or 3 questions, and then we're gonna go to Miss J. Same thing.
Well, I only have one more, and
Okay.
this is a I know based question, and so it's something that I've always wanted to know. I know that when you make up your mind about a situation, a topic, a subject, anything, it is hard for anyone to change your view, change your viewpoint, or to make it almost impossible to change your viewpoint on topics. When did you develop your resolute attitude? And was there a situation that formed that way of you know, your thinking about subjects? You know, was there something where you gave someone the ability to change your mind and it was for the negative? So then you said, once I make up my mind, I'm sticking to it, or was it just that's who you are, that's how you believe, and excuse the language, but fuck what you think. This is what I believe.
I think that the way I was raised by a very strong black woman, and she raised me not to be a follower. So throughout my life, my circle has always been small. I was never one to be a part of a clique or be that guy that, you know, wanted to be cool. I'm on the file behind somebody else. I guess I always danced to the beat of my own drum. So I learned early on that the best person I can trust is me. So going through my early life, I wasn't one to chase behind other people. I always had my own way of thinking. So hopefully that answers your question. I mean, that's basically what it was.
Okay, cool. Thank you for being so open and candid.
So next base, you already know we got the firecracker coming up. Miss J. Nicole.
Oh,
You're not a firecracker? Yeah, that's a lie. No. Go ahead. Miss J, what you got for base?
Had you not chosen to become an officer, where do you think you would have ended up?
You know what? I wanted to be a school teacher, but I watched that movie, The Substitute, and I figured I can't throw kids out of window. So that might have been a short career. It's funny. That's one of my favorite movies.
I don't know. I could kind of picture you as a teacher.
I'd be beating somebody's child's ass.
Quietest classroom in the building.
Yeah. Yep.
You remember that? Hey, Grizz, you remember that movie? I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh yeah.
You want the little Joey? You want the window or the steps?
That was funny as shit.
So I figured my life as a teacher probably been fired in a week.
You've been fired.
Because I'll be still punching little Joey in his forehead.
Jeez, you had
damn boy
in your mind that he was going to be a horrible kid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Yeah. Well, if you ever notice, most kids named Joey are badass kids.
Yeah.
Who need to be
most
punching
kids
the forehead?
named Joey are badass kids. So you know, you got to watch them damn Joeys.
And then the parents come up and I had to fuck them up.
Oh Jesus!
So now you got to beat up Margaret and Chad.
Everybody catching hands, the equal opportunity.
Yeah, this is what you get for having that little bastard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we should beat the grandparents' asses too because they started this shit.
You know what? I'm glad you became an officer instead.
Yeah, because the biggest people that had to deal with me on the street was the drug dealers.
Yeah, so they did. So they were their minds were already corrupt. So you ain't want to start on the kiddies. You know, Miss J, what else you got?
So you being from around the way, and now transitioning and becoming an officer, you know, you one of the 12, you the cops, you the boys. Was there then a lack of respect, or was it they just kept their distance and just didn't bother? Like, how was that handled? The relationship.
Are you talking about family?
Well, I guess you can go family and neighbors, people that you grew up with.
Well, because I was somewhat of a sheltered kid. The only one that really resented me being police was my brother. The one that I loved him to death, and he died. I remember I came back from Ocean City with my family, and my mother called me, and she says, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. She says, you need to get down here because your brother don't look right. And I had been a police for about I don't know, 5, maybe 8 years, maybe. And so I went down to her. And my brother still lived in the projects. So I remember going down there, and I saw 2 police officers staying on the front porch, writing a DOA report. And I've handled many DOA reports in my little tenure as police, but it was surreal to think that these guys are writing a DOA for my brother. So I identified myself when I got to my mother's project, and I go upstairs and I see my brother laying on the love seat, and his face is facing the back of the love seat, and he always kept a shaved head. So I kneeled down to the top of his head, and I remember kissing the top of his head, and his head was cold, which let me know he'd been dead for at least 5 or 6 hours, maybe more. And I remember standing there waiting for the ME to come, and by the time they took him up off the couch, I could tell that rigor mortis had set in because his body had locked. And they laid him on this tarp. They had 2 sticks on both ends of it, and that was the last sight of my brother. And it's amazing because he didn't live to be 40. He was out there in the drug world. He didn't live to be 40. And I remember going to some of his homeboys to see if they would be pallbearers for him, and they told me they didn't have time. But then I had a repast for him down in the projects, and they came to me and says, "Hey, Mr. Greg, can we get a plate?" And I didn't want to do it, but I did it for my brother. I let them come in and get a plate. And I was kind of mad at them at first because of him, getting high and dying from an overdose. But then I thought about it. I said, well, this was his life. This is what he wanted to do. So I can't blame them. So I told him, I said, come on in and get a plate.
Wow. All right, Ms. J, you got any more questions for my brother?
I have one. When you found your brother like that, how did that affect you? Being as though I don't know if that was your first time seeing somebody deceased like that, let alone it being somebody as close as your brother.
No, he wasn't. Being out there in the world of law enforcement, I had seen many DOAs, but when it came to seeing my brother, he died in 98, and I remember like it was yesterday. I remember going upstairs and seeing him laying on that love seat. Oh, thank you. And I remember, like I said, when I became police, and he was so, oh my God, he was so disappointed that I became police. He was so disappointed, and it broke my heart because me and my brother were thick as thieves. The little background on my family: me and my brother had a father. My youngest brother and my 3 sisters had another father. So it was rough us growing up because my youngest brother and my sisters, we didn't think that we were whole brother and sisters because we had 2 different fathers. So this has always been a thing with me and my youngest brother. He never really thought that we were family because we had 2 different fathers, even though all 6 of us had the same mother. So my brother that died back in 98, we were thick as thieves. I mean, we did everything together. I smoked weed with him. I remember the old smell weed. This new weed, I can't identify with it. But I remember smoking with him and needing some potato chips. And I felt that paranoia, and I think he kind of saved my life because with him, induced me to the world of weed. It scared me because I never wanted to do anything that I couldn't have control over. So he went on into acid and whatever else he was involved in. But I stopped at weed. I was like, I can't do no more of this. I can't. I need to gain some kind of control of me. And I remember his only daughter, she came to me one day when she was like, I'm gonna say she was like maybe 10. She said, Uncle Gregory, can you do something to stop my father from getting high? And I didn't know what to say to her. And I'm thinking if I said something to him, he's gonna be upset with her because he would take her with him when he went to cop.
Mm.
And that was the biggest thing between me and him, because he always called me a goody goody because I wouldn't do the shit that he was doing, you know. And then my youngest brother, I remember I became police. My youngest brother said, he said, I want you to come down on Broadway and I want you to hear my testimony. I was like, okay. I didn't know he was getting high. So I go in this room, I'm in full uniform. I remember going in this room, all these drug addicts. And I remember my brother standing up and he was telling the whole audience how long he'd been clean. And I was like, you talk about shocked. I was like, I didn't know this boy was getting high. And I still, to this day, I'll be 70 in a couple of years. To this day, and I didn't ask him, but to this day, I never knew what he was using. I never thought to ask. But out of my two brothers, I was always one that was considered the goody goody because I stopped at weed. I didn't, but watching them two, I was too afraid to do anything else.
That's crazy, brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, all right. So, let's see. Miss
Y'all
Brittany,
brought
do you have?
brought the kid in the brother's eye.
we asking the real questions. Miss Brittany, you got any more questions or
I did, but my baby over here cussing me out.
Oh,
so he asking the
Go ahead.
questions now. The baby asking the questions now.
Where my milk?
Oh,
Where my
milk.
milk?
She in full milk. She almost 2 years old.
Oh, she almost
She-
oh
she-
yeah,
this girl
she's
Where
with
my
you. Where's my
bread?
steak?
tiny and eat like a grown man.
Yeah, she like, where's my steak at? I
Mhm.
needed
Where my
medium
bread?
well.
I
So
need a
Miss
plate.
Anna, Miss Anna, it is time for you to put Brother Bass on the hot seat.
Oh, Lord.
Yes,
Okay.
because you, ma'am, have the distinct pleasure
Oh,
to
Lord.
be in the building. And just to think about the questions that you about to ask him.
God forbid. Again, God forbid.
So, Miss Anna, what questions do you have for Brother Bass?
I have one question. I was trying to think of another one. Thinking of what you've been through in your life from childhood now to you're an adult, what kind of message would you give to the youth of the day to inspire them or to give them a positive outlook on life? Although we know you have endured a lot in your life, what would you, if you were speaking in front of a group, or if you were asked to come to a school by you being like a handball or an ex-cop, what would you say to the youth of today that will give them a little positive? Although you can tell them the downside of your life, and you have just to give them both scenarios. What would you tell them to inspire them? And for their future, whatever they could be police officer, teacher, school teacher, nurse, doctor. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to education is important. Follow your dreams. If you want to become an astronaut, you want to be a president. Look at Barack Obama. I never thought I would live to see a black president. If you want to be a school teacher, you want to be a police officer, whatever you want to do it. You're gonna, in this world that's not easy. You're gonna have a lot of obstacles along the way. But I would say get your education, and everything starts with education. Follow your dreams. Believe in you. You're gonna have people that's gonna tell you what you can't do. I'm telling you, follow your dreams. Whatever you want to do it. And whatever you do, be good at it. I'm following my brother JB. Do it and be good at it. Give it your all. But you can't sit back and go, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Do it. Life ain't easy. Do it. Just do it. I never thought growing up in the projects that I would one day become police. I never thought in a million years. Never thought. But I would say follow your dreams. And dreams for young folks start at a little age. I mean, I was 12, 13, thinking about being police. I never thought that I would follow my dream, but I did it. Through the grace of God, I did it. So I would say, to your question, follow your dream, and believe in you. Believe in you.
Absolutely, man.
Any more questions?
No.
No more questions. Okay.
No more- Okay. So,
Hope I answered those.
JB, do you have any follow-up questions that you want to ask Brother Bass?
Well, I had one, but I think you answered it before on a different episode. But did you ever have to use your service weapon during your time of service?
Now, when you say use my service weapon, you mean like discharging it, or
Yes, shooting someone.
you know what? You know what I think? You know what I think saved me, JB? I think my saving grace was getting shot. I didn't want. I don't know how crazy it sounds, but I didn't want to put anybody else through the trauma that I went through. Because I went through a lot of shit, man. I was angry because I didn't get to hurt the person that hurt me. I had a young family then. I remember laying on the bed after I got shot, and the fluid moved up into my head. If you remember the movie The Elephant Man, that's how I looked. Everything was swole. And I remember my ex-wife taking me to my mother's, and my mother was afraid. She didn't even recognize me. And my ex-wife was pissed because my mom didn't recognize her own child. And I went to the hospital and I talked to Dr. Scalia, and he said, I need to lay, basically I had to lay like prone or in a V for all the liquid in my body to move down into the rest of my body. And then my face, my eyes, my lips, my nose, everything started to come back, go
normal.
back down. Yeah.
So your lymphatic fluid was sitting up at the top of your head, and they had to wait for that to go back down. Okay.
Also, if you check your Facebook Messenger, I just sent you something. Base.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, Miss J, we're gonna swing it back around to you. Do you have any more questions for Brother Bass?
And plus, Anna has another question too.
We're gonna bring it back down, bring Miss Anna as well.
Okay.
Yep. Nope. No question.
Okay. All right, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna swing it over to Miss Brittany. Does the baby have a question to ask Brother Bass?
No, the baby is doing whatever she can to keep herself awake because she don't want to go to sleep.
Oh, you know.
But she might have a question in a second.
Okay.
Baby,
okay.
do you have any questions?
Well, yeah.
Oh, now you don't have nothing to say. Okay.
Where my ribs?
She just had some Italian sausage and peppers earlier. She's fine.
Oh yeah, she's
good. Oh, okay.
She's good in the neighborhood, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what you sleep food, so she really fighting
it. Brittany, Grandma said, "Save her plate."
Oh Lord.
Miss Anna, what about you? You have another question to ask Brother Bass.
Yeah.
And let's see what that question is. Go right on ahead. The floor is yours.
If you were to talk to the person, the gentleman who shot you, what would you say? Tell him to this date, present day. What would you say to him?
I probably, you know what? I would probably ask him why. You know, I remember. I got to tell you a little story on Anna's question. So I got shot in '93. Here it is, 2000. I became a detective. So in 2001, I'm in a district one night, and the way it went back then, if the officers arrested somebody for a crime, they would bring him into the station and talk to a detective. Well, I got shot in '93. The guy that was accused of shooting me, he was arrested in '94 for my attempt murder. Well, in 2001, I'm gonna say 2002, he got arrested for domestic, where he fired a shot at his girlfriend, and the bullet ricocheted off the wall and grazed his stomach. But because she loved him, she wouldn't let the officers see her stomach to see that this guy tried to kill her. So they bring this guy into the station, and I'm running his information. And then I looked at his name. I was like, that was like the guy that the information, it matched the guy that shot me. So I go to pull up his information, and sure enough, he was charged with my attempt murder in '94. So I called homicide to let them know that I got the guy in the interview room that was charged with my shooting. And they said, well, the case was null pros because nobody could pick him out. But don't talk to him about the shooting. I said, oh, no problem. So I called for a wagon to take him to central booking for the domestic violence on his girlfriend. And I had to ask him before the wagon got there. They took forever. But I asked him, I said, hey, man, were you charged with trying to kill a police? He sit back in the chair and he said, yeah, but I beat that shit. And I'm thinking, I got to get his ass out of here because I'm going to do something to him. And I'm going to go to jail. So I waited for the wagon to come and get him, take him to central booking. But I learned through my shooting, I kind of learned to forgive him.
Yeah.
I kind of learned to forgive him. Like I said,
forgiveness is healing medicine.
Once the dust settled from my shooting, I realized that my daughter didn't save me, my ex-wife didn't save me, God saved me. And I found Jesus in 93. I found Jesus.
Where was he?
Huh?
Where was he?
Jesus.
Where was he?
Jesus was on the front porch when this guy tried to take my life.
All right.
Exactly. Well,
he was right there with me.
Base, you're so much better person than me, because had I seen him.
Amen. Amen.
Oh yeah.
How my boy Ali Sadiq say about Officer Mitchell? I'm killing Officer Mitchell.
Now I ain't gonna lie. If you thought you was gonna get out of that damn room without me putting foots in your ass,
shit. You say shit. But you know what, panel? I'm gonna say the one true blessing out of all this that I've gone through in my life is the blessing of this young lady sitting next to me. Because she is, you know, when they say a phenomenal woman,
a phenomenal woman is she.
A phenomenal woman, she is she. I have never in my life met a woman that is so caring, so loving, so giving. She will give her last and won't ask for anything. And she took my heart from the beginning. And when I even trying to deny that I had any feelings for her, I was like, nope, I ain't doing it. Nope. But the more I talked to her, the more I realized that she had my heart. So the good Lord kept me around for a reason, and my blessing. I call her my heartbeat.
That's a good man, Savannah.
Do I get to be a flower girl again?
I heard Jay.
How many flower girls you trying to be out here in these streets?
Well, you got me on flower girl for you. Well, just two.
Well, I don't mean no harm, but if you're gonna be the flower girl, this is gonna be your pastor right here. So She's gonna be real. She's gonna get right to it, in and out. That's it, in and out.
Oh my God.
Wazowski.
I do have
man and wife.
If I may, I do have a question, if I may.
Absolutely.
Mr. Greg.
Yeah.
So during your whole tenure as a police officer, detective, everything that you've done, at what point, if any, was there a point during your whole career where your faith was little or diminished? And if so, what point during your career was your faith in God reinforced?
Was diminished. My I think my faith was diminished when I realized that this department that I was trying to become a part of treated me like suspect number one. It made me wake up and realize that above anything else, you're a black man at the end of the day. And I remember I was in circuit court one day. I was a deputy after I retired from the police department, and our locker room is in the East Building. They're called the old post office. So me and another black officer, after we put our civilian clothes on, we're running to the elevator, and a white attorney that I've known for 20 years, she's coming off the elevator, and she stopped and turned red. And she's known me for 20 years, but she saw the complexion before she saw my face. And she said, Greg? I said, Lisa? I said, are you okay? She said, I thought you guys were going to rob me. And I looked at her
Wow.
like, I was like, and that's what I said, wow.
Wow.
You know, I was treated with respect for the most part when I was in uniform. But when I was in plain clothes, I was just another nigga on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But my proudest moment, I was a shooting investigator for a decade. I mean, most of my 99.9% of my victims were drug dealers. I had a little 7-year-old kid who was out playing with his brother one day. It was in August, a hot summer day. One drug dealer was shooting another drug dealer, shot the littlest thing on the street. And he reminded me of Will Smith's son, Jaden, when he was a little boy with these long braids. He caught one in his chest. It was on Ravenwood. It was about 200-300 people out there sitting. Do you know not one person would come forward and say they saw this shooting? And I took it home with me. Especially being a parent, I got this 7-year-old kid shot, and nobody is putting a gun in to shoot his hand. So it was so bad and difficult. I put mom on TV to see if she could pull at some of the mother's heartstrings and tell me who shot this boy. But I finally found the guy that shot him. I had one witness that got caught up on some drugs, and he admitted that he saw the shooting. But of course, you know, people watch Law and Order. They think that this shit is easy. It is not. So the day of the trial, my witness is transported to court by the defendant's family, and you know what that meant. He refused to testify. He said that I told him what to say, and I said, "You know that you are a witness for the state's attorney's office." He said, "No, man, I'm a witness for the defense. I ain't see that shit." So I'm thinking that the defendant's family paid him off to not see anything, but the most happy moment out of that experience was this little boy survived. He survived. And he was like a little 50 Cent in elementary school because he was showing the little girls in his class his bullet wound.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Be impressed. Boy, I swear.
Uh-huh.
It don't take much, damn it. I swear.
Yeah.
Well,
But that was my
everybody.
moment that I never got this boy any justice, but he survived it. And you know, older people, when we get hurt, they put us out the pasture. But when little kids get hurt, they're able to bounce back. You know, as long as it's not a traumatic injury, this boy bounced back. And I kept in contact with him and his mother up until I retired.
Oh
That's what's
wow.
up, man.
That's beautiful.
That's what's up, man.
And my
Well,
primary patrol officer, he got in trouble because he was knocking on doors trying to find a witness, and somebody heard him yell "fuck" because he was frustrated because we couldn't get not one witness. So somebody in the neighborhood contacted Internal Affairs and said you got a patrol officer out on a corner cussing. So he got charged with using profanity on a public street.
Oh, you can't see, you ain't seen nobody shoot nobody, but you can see somebody cussing. Punk
Yep.
ass.
Exactly. What?
Yep. He got charged with.
People are funny, man.
Straight
Ain't
up
that
punk
something?
ass, man.
Ain't that something? You ain't gonna help this little boy that got shot, but yet you're gonna get mad because this officer was frustrated because nobody would come forward and say who shot this little boy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think today, so guys, I just want to let you know going forward with the format for the sophisticated grizzly. I think, first of all, let's give my brother Bass a round of applause before we do any damn thing else. I think this was an amazing interview. I think that, brother, you are so much more powerful than what you think, and you are so much more loved than what you think. And I want you to understand that we see you as a king. We see you as a family member. We see you as a brother. We see you. And just know that at all times we see you, brother. So, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you came up here. Going forward, the format for the Grizzly, we will be doing once a month because we want to make this an event. This was an event. This just wasn't a conversation. This was an event for me to have an opportunity to shine the light on some of the amazing people that I know, that I surrounded myself with, the people that are in my life. And in all honesty, if you get the tap on the shoulder, that means that I see you as a great person in my life, and I am interested in having these conversations with you. And so it's already 2 other people right up here on the panel that have been tapped on the shoulder, guys. So y'all already know we are going to be talking to a few other people because Miss Anna, you are officially tapped on the shoulder. So yeah, we're gonna get one with you as well. So so the next one that's going to be coming up is going to be in August, where we talk to the volatile, the explosive Mr. Vicissitude, guys. That will be his interview, and we're going to be shooting it from location in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we're going to be talking to Mr. John, Mr. Vicissitude. We're going to ask him all of the questions that you want to ask him, even the ones that he may be hesitant to answer. But guess what? If you've ever met him, he ain't hesitant to answer a damn thing. He say whatever the hell he feel like saying. So before we go anywhere, y'all already know what it is. We got to bring up my brother JB because we need to know about that mass created. We need to know about. Go ahead, brother.
Well,
we got you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back on the screen, even though it's in a limited capacity. I missed this, but when I come back, expect the unexpected because there will be some shit going down. And when I do come back, I will be on the Grown Man Click podcast, which is every Monday at 8:05 with my boy B Maeve, my boy Rich, my boy Van Gogh. Grizz is there, Jay is there. Base, you're always welcome. We just have a great conversation on Monday nights. Right now, I'm not in the house. I'm not on the screen, but my boy B Maeve and my boy Rich are holding it down. They're taking care of it till I come back. Won't be too much longer, but I'll be back on the screen real soon. So every Monday night, 8:05, the Grown Man Click podcast. Please check us out. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely, my brother. And ladies and gentlemen, in case y'all didn't know, it's summertime. And in the summertime, we get sweaty. We take probably 10,000 damn showers. But guess what happens? You get an ashy ass in the summertime, just like any other point. So are just too plain when I think about you. All I think is Miss J. Nicole, you got to help him get unashy. Wait a minute. We got to add her back to the stage and then bring her up. There you go. Miss J. Nicole.
Yes. Come to jamore.com for all your luxurious body butter needs. I have body scrubs, body butters, shower gels. We got some air fresheners in there and some candles. Also, come see me. You can smell good and not be all hot and sweaty because it's not heavy. Come get yours while it lasts.
There it is. And Miss Anna, please tell me you got some of those bottles available so that the folks can see what you got
going to grab
on.
some now. Here she is.
And ladies and gentlemen, these are what Miss Anna brings to the table. This is what she brings into the Grizzly. We all have our own beautiful, and that is mine. No, you cannot have it, everybody. That's mine.
Oh, I like that square one.
Yes, I promise you, if you try to put your hands on it, I'm gonna put hands and feet on it. So I'll make it happen. That's me. That's me.
She said you can have.
I might have to buy that.
That's
one.
nice.
No, JB, that's already me, man. She already gave it to
I
me.
might have to buy that one.
That's already me, brother. It's already me.
Have to buy that one. You said the other one was yours. Make up your mind.
This one right here, because she already made it directly for me.
No. I think I'm going hard in the paint. We're gonna have a bidding war for that one.
Oh Lord. Hey, JB.
Yeah,
This was when you gave her, bro.
yeah, that's fire.
That came
Yeah,
out
and
rough.
that's gonna be on the Grizzly.
Hey, look, check these out.
That's a little. This is a little
Absolutely,
big one.
absolutely amazing, guys. So, Miss Anna, please tell them how they can get in contact with you so that they can get some of this amazing work.
Well, you can Is it okay if I give my number or just give it to you, Greg? You can send it out. How would that work?
So, if you would much rather them contact you through your Facebook page, let them contact you through your Facebook page
Okay.
so that they can do that. I don't want to get nobody your personal number because
Right.
we don't want to have to whip nobody's ass out here.
I was just about to say because I'll go hard for my mother now.
That's right.
Some
You and
crazy
me
people
both,
out
Brittany.
there.
Yes, that's
Facebook,
right.
Facebook.
I need y'all to
People
understand that
don't
if
understand.
anybody come at Anna the wrong way,
Same is spelled COAT as in Tom ES. You can contact me and inbox me on there, and then we can go forward from there as far as ordering. And I have a million bottles at home, and there's some here that I painted. I mean, it's a lot here.
You got a lot here. Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
So
Yeah.
any particular color, you have to inbox me because I got you. Okay.
all right, guys. And is there a specific price that you got for these?
Oh,
And
see,
remember, everybody, I want you guys to hear this, and I need you to hear this well. The price is the price.
So this one is like, well, this is like 50. This sounds to be 50. This one is 40. And I go down like the smaller ones. This would be like, it's like 25. These like 25. And if you I'll tell people if they bring me a bottle, I'll give them a little discount. They bring me the bottle, I'll paint it, and we get a little discount. But they have to inbox me for that.
Okay, so y'all heard what she said. Inbox her on Facebook. Do not call her. Do not try to FaceTime her. Because once again, if you try to call her number or FaceTime her,
And that's
Please
putting
do
it
not-
very lightly.
Oh,
please don't think I'm joking. So wait a minute, hold on. Let me do this real quick.
Oh my God.
I need y'all to take a look. Please don't think I'm joking. If you inbox her, when you call her, I'm whipping your ass. This ain't a game. So now that we got those unpleasantries out of the way, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us over here on the Sophisticated Grizzly Podcast, guys. Thank you for making this return of the Grizzly Podcast a special one. Make sure that you do a few things. I need you to like it. I need you to share it. I need you to subscribe to it because it is one of the best podcast / talk shows going on out here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we had to say, you love everything we had to say, and you can get busy with what we had to say. We love you and we appreciate you. And if you got a problem with what we had to say, you got something that you want to say about what we had to say, well, I'm going to say something different today. You just ain't sophisticated enough. Have a good night.
Nice.
Sophisticated grizzly, mostly passion, caution, dedication, caution, fragrance, summer leader, caution, deal is Teddy, it's time, caution, deal is Teddy, Grizzly. Sex appeared in caution, passion, caution, dedication,